Vasudevasutam Devam
Vasudevasutam Devam
Kamsa-chanūramardhanam
Kamsa-chanūramardhanam
Devaki Paramanandam
Devaki Paramanandam
Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum
Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum
Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe
Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe
Pularavindaya Tapatra Netra
Pullara-vindaya tapatra netra
Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purna
Yena tvaya bharata taila purna
Prajvalito jñāna-maya pradipaha
Prajvalito jñāna-maya pradipaha.
Namo Namaha. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you are joining to the Bhagavad-Gita class. Thus far, we have touched upon 7 chapters of Bhagavad-Gita. We had in the past covered the 13th chapter, 12th chapter, 13th chapter, 15, 16, 17, 6th chapter, and recently in 20 classes, in 20 hours, we covered the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad-Gita. We touched upon. We can't say that we covered, we touched upon the 7 chapters so far. The Bhagavad-Gita has a universal application and Bhagavad-Gita has a universal value. Bhagavad-Gita is not a time-bound message. Its message is universal and applicable for all times to all people irrespective of their background. Whether a child or adult or old person, it has a message. Even the old people, they resort to Bhagavad-Gita. Even when a person has died at home, they read Bhagavad-Gita. Complete Bhagavad-Gita, if not, at least the 2nd chapter. They read that one. Even when the person has departed, when the dead body is there, in presence of that one, they say in presence of the dead body, because if the soul is still hanging around the body, in case the soul is still hanging around the body, attached to the body, it is saying that you continue the journey. Your time is done. Now you continue the journey. Don't hang around. It is like an old cloth. Put on the new cloth and move on. Don't hang around this old body. It's a message for the soul. If it is hanging around, and it's message for people, grieving people around. Not to grieve on that one. That has continued. The soul has it is changed the old cloth. It is putting on the new cloth. It is continuing. That's a message. Even if there is a bereavement, that's a message is there. Message is there. And also, if the message for the people, if the new person is born in the home, and message for them also, not to be too highly elated that a person has born in your family. This person also will discard and continue the journey. And not to be too overjoyed. Or when someone is born or somebody departs, not to go into depression. It's a message, universal message. That Bhagavad-Gita is contained in Mahabharata. Bhara means weight. It got its weight. So heavy that if you keep all the scriptures of the world in one pan and Mahabharata on one side, Mahabharata weighs heavier. Its value, it says its value is higher than the Vedas also. Vedas, because Vedas are called as apaurisheya, not composed by anyone, and whereas Mahabharata is composed by Lord Himself. He composed. Because Lord Himself has composed, it says it has a value higher than the Vedas. To understand the Vedas without having a reference book of Mahabharata, you will be misled. For proper understanding of your Vedas, what is the reference? Can I imagine some word? or what is the message in Mahabharata? In relation to Mahabharata, I have to understand the Puranas. In relation to Mahabharata, I have to understand the Vedas. Vedas to understand the text. Mahabharata is required. Even the illumined people also contemplate on Mahabharata to reflect on what does it mean? What is that real message it is conveying? The striking message in Mahabharata, it is conveying the negative forces. In the Mahabharata, Kauravas 100 in number. Pandavas, Kauravas represents negativity, negative forces. 100 means not 99 plus 1, it represents innumerable negative forces around. And Pandavas 5 in number, very few in number. Pandavas are very limited, and Kauravas negative energy higher. What it says, what Vedavyasa is conveying, never make compromise with the negative people while you are living. Many people, they say you have to learn to make compromise and live in the society. Many people, they say in the office also, I am not supposed to take bribe, but somehow I have to survive. What to do? I will also take. In the office, they say I had to live I should be a party person. I know drinking alcohol is not right. But somehow I had to survive and I had to be seen as a social person. I had to resort to alcohol. And many children also are listening. It's a message. And children, they say, I am in the friend circle. Friends force me to take drugs. I take drugs. When you start making compromise, you start losing your identity. When you start losing your identity, the whole life is wasted. That Mahabharata, Vedavyasa says, making a compromise, like milk, I have milk and one bucket of milk and a small cup of lime juice I have. If I say I will make compromise with the lime juice, nothing but I am spoiling the whole milk. The compromise, what it says, if you are having a values, high values in your life, never compromise. Because the negative people, they never will compromise their values for the sake of good people. They always want to pull the good people down to their level. They don't want to change, and many good people, they compromise to live with the negative people. Negative people never wants to change. And I am like that. They want to pull everyone down, and instead of getting pulled down, you have to maintain your values in your life. Otherwise, when you start compromising, you are losing yourself, losing your identity, and whole life is wasted. Another life is wasted. What Pandavas never compromised on the values. Because the Pandavas, they had the leader on their side. Bhima was so strong. He did not, because of the strength of Bhima on Pandava's side, they did not come down to make a compromise. The Bhima, even Duryodhana says, in front on the Pandava, say that Pandava side is protected by Bhima. As long as it is protected, I can't defeat them. Even Duryodhana said that one. And Bhima, whereas on the Kaurava side, good people were there, like Karna, a good incarnation of Surya, sun, and Bhishmacharya, he learnt under Parashurama, he learnt under Brihaspati Acharya for 525 years. He learnt. And Dronacharya, Acharya, Brihaspati Acharya's incarnation, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, and other good people, they made compromise with negative people and they diluted themselves and resulted in being defeated and killed. Some people made compromise and got killed, whereas Pandavas, and in the Mahabharata, Bhishmacharya also says, Yatho dharmo tata Krishna, yatha Krishna tata jayaha. When we are stuck to the dharma, righteous living and noble living, when you are stuck to that one, initially it may seem to be difficult. But when you stuck to that one, on your side, Lord Shri Krishna will be there. Where Lord Shri Krishna is there, that side will be victorious. That is an assurance Vedavyasa has given again and again in Mahabharata. And that dharma means we are unlike negative people. When you are holding on to the values in your life, you are not an antisocial. You are always wishing well of others. You are not making any harm to the people. It is good to stand out, not to make compromise on your values. Yes, I want to bring in good to the world. Come what may. I want to serve the world. Come what may. I don't want to compromise on my values, my ethics, whatever is there. I won't compromise. If you stuck to that one, victory, initially it seemed to be difficult, but ultimately you will be the victorious. And most of us can relate to our ancestors. So, and many people, when we are a child also, we used to read about the stories of the great people. They were so righteous, they did not make compromise, resulted in their generations are still reaping the benefit. Many people, because of the weak mental stamina, they wanted to make compromise with the values for immediate gain. Corruption and wrong living, and initially it may look to be rosy and very attractive, and if you look at their own life, slowly in their lifetime itself they go down. In their lifetime itself their generations go down. And Mahabharata is a text. It's a text. It is how to lead an enriched life. Not only enriched life, your generations to come, how you can be an inspiration to others. That is the story of Mahabharata. Mahabharata mentioned. And thus far in the second chapter, we touched upon in the beginning of the second chapter, Arjuna, the well-skilled, well-trained, and known for his archery, and he acquired Pashupati Astra also. He did intense tapas and so many missiles, mystic missiles he acquired. But in the war front, he collapsed. He went into depression, and he was so arrogant at the beginning. Nobody is equal to me. I have so many mystic missiles. And in the crucial moment, he collapsed. And he said, I don't want to fight. And what is the use of this fight? Just a piece of land, do I have to kill these people? Just a piece of fame and name, do I have to do this one? Begging is better for me. I will go to the forest. I don't want to fight. And he resorted to depression. But Sri Krishna is a message. He told, who said that you are fighting for your piece of land? He never mentioned that you are fighting for a piece of land. He said you are fighting for a cause. You have a duty. Abandoning a duty is not the mark of a person. You are fighting for a piece of land. You are fighting for values. You are fighting against the negative. Negative people are thriving and just surrendering. Surrendering, that is what we have seen in Afghanistan. And when the Taliban is coming, Afghan army ran away, president ran away. Surrendering is not that one. You are fighting for a cause. When you are there, you have to fight for a cause. Come what may. And your body may go or not, it doesn't matter. But you are fighting. If a soldier dies on a war front, that person is glorified. In Vedavyasa says we are allowed to die only two ways. One, as a yogi, you can depart, sit in meditation and depart, or die in your whatever you are doing. Throw your heart behind whatever you are doing passionately that you are doing, and in your work you have to depart. Only two ways. Two ways Vedavyasa has mentioned. And in Bhagavad-Gita, in second chapter, when Arjuna said he doesn't want to fight, Sri Krishna says, Klaibhyamma smagama partha naita tayyupapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyakto uttishta parantapa. He shook him off. He woke him up. You have to stand up. Don't be like a coward and important person. You have to stand up and fight. And further he says, Hato va prapsisi swargam jitva va bokshyase mahin tasmat uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nishchaya. He says, you have to engage yourself. Even if you die, doesn't matter. And you will get the fame. If you win in your action, you will attain the highest. In both cases, you are not a loser. And in the further he says, karmanye-vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phaleheturbhu mate sangosta karmani. You have to do your ordained duty. Through your heart, result should not be a driver. He was again and again saying, do your action in the second chapter. And as Lord Sri Krishna was driving this message, and Arjuna got sidetracked. Lord was pushing, conveying the message to Arjuna. He must engage himself and excel in his whatever he or she was doing. Arjuna still was carrying that load of running away. And something question occurred to him. He thought action is not possible. Karma yoga is very difficult. And I want to know what are the signs of that person. Is it really possible, or you're just making it up to convince me? What are the signs? And Sri Krishna, he talks about Arjuna got sidetracked. Sri Krishna responds to that one. Sthita prajna lakshana. The qualities of the person who has established himself. And vihaya kamanyas sarvan pumans charti nispraha nirmamo nirahankara sashantim adigacchati yesha brahmi sthite partha nainam prapi muhyati sitvasya antakalepi brahma nirvana mrichati. He talks about the one who has established, even in the last minute of that one, coming to the center. will attain unshakable peace and gets liberated. Then Arjuna said in the 3rd chapter, that is what I wanted. That is what I was saying. I wanted to run away and I wanted to have peace. I wanted to run away to the forest and I wanted to meditate. And that is what I was trying to tell you. And now, you draw 2 messages. One is do karma yoga, and towards the end you are saying meditation is better. If meditation is better, then why are you pushing me to do action? Is it not contrary? I am totally confused. You are talking either way. You say meditation is better, jnana is better, meditation on that one is better, and at the same time you ask me to do karma. Is it not contrary? Please enlighten me. I am confused. That is the 3rd chapter. Karma yoga is defined. In the 3rd chapter, beauty of the 3rd chapter, it further clarifies what karma means. And for a yoga practitioner, the 3rd chapter talks about Pancha Kosha. What is Pancha Kosha? We, in yoga school, they talk about Pancha Kosha, whereas Bhagavad-Gita talks about Shat Kosha, 6-layered personality. In yoga schools, they talk about only Pancha Kosha. This is the 6th layer existence. What is that? Lord Shri Krishna touches on that one. It's very relevant for the yoga students also. Repeat after me the 3rd chapter. Arjuna uvācha. Jyayasi chet karmanaste. Mata buddhir janardana. Again, jyayasi chet karmanaste. Mata buddhi janardana. Tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi Keshava. And here again, in Anushtup Chandas say this one, jyayasi chet karmanaste. Mata buddhir janardana. Tatkim karmani ghore ma. Niyojayasi Keshava. Jyayasi. Why? Karmanaste, the chet karmanaste. Why you are pushing me into karma yoga, pushing me into karma yoga, when you are saying that buddhir janardana, when you are praising the buddhi yoga, buddhi jnana yoga, when you are saying that jnana yoga is higher, coming to the center and meditate, when you are saying that, and why you are pushing me into the action? Tat kim, tat, then why? Kim means why? Karmani ghorema. This horrible action. Arjuna still thinking action, whatever he has to do, it is not good. Horrible action. That my job is horrible. Shri Krishna says, no job is horrible. When you have to do your job, he says, Arjuna says, karmani ghorema, why push me into this horrible job? Niyojayasi, push me into this one, make me to do that one. Next one, vyamishreneva. Vakyena. Buddhim. Mohayasiva me. Tadekam. Vada nishchitya. yena
yena
shreyo
shreyo
apnuyam
apnuyam
vyamishreneva vakyena
vyamishreneva vakyena
buddhim mohayasiva me
buddhim mohayasiva me
tadekam vada nishchitya
tadekam vada nishchitya
yena shreyo apnuyam
yena shreyo apnuyam
vyamishreneva. You are confusing. You told both karma and jnana, both mishreneva vakyena. Your words, my buddhi, mohaya. Buddhi got clouded. I am confused. You told both about karma and jnana. Tad ekam. Therefore, tell me only one. Don't tell both. Tell me only one which I should do. Yena shreyam apnuyam. That shreyoham apnuyam. That is good for me. Don't tell 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tell me only one. So which is good for me. Tell me one. Don't tell many options. And tell me one. And in our Shastra, there is a freedom to express. Student can ask a question. This dialogue, this questioning, it is called as Upanishad. Upanishad. In our Shastra, students have every right to ask questions. And the student in other religion, they say, thou shall don't question, do as it is told, and otherwise you will go to hell. Whereas in Bhagavad-Gita is a Upanishad, discussion, dialogue. A student, sincere student can ask any question that the teacher is there to clarify. Arjuna asked the question on our behalf, on everyone's behalf. He asked that question. Sri Krishna did not get annoyed to hear that question. Why are you asking that question? And just do what I am saying. He never said that one. And Lord had come down to Arjuna's level to educate him. Shri bhagavān uvācha.
Shri bhagavān uvācha.
Loke asmin dvi-vidhā
nishta
pura prokta maya anagha jñāna-yogena sankyanam yena sankyanam karma-yogena yoginam lokesmin dvi-vidhā nishta pura prokta maya naga jñāna-yogena sankyanam karma-yogena yoginam. Sankhya, second chapter is called as Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya, Sri Krishna says, Sankhya means jnana. Jnana, Sankhya Yoga, the two paths. Two lokes mean dvi-vidhā nishta, and it says two things are there. One is jnana and yoga. Here, yoga, Sri Krishna says, yoga is nothing but karma yoga. One is karma yoga and another is jnana yoga. Two paths are there from beginning. From beginning, two paths are there. And one is jnana and karma. And that what Sri Krishna says, and karma yoga, if you are not doing any action, doesn't mean it is karma yoga. And just because sannyasana deva. That just because you put on an orange cloth doesn't mean it is a sannyasa yoga, jnana yoga. Jnana yoga, our concept of karma yoga, it's karmana anaramba. Next one he says, anaramba, if I do not start anything, doesn't mean it's a karma yoga. If I am staying away from my job, any responsibility, closing my eyes, doesn't mean it is a jnana yoga. And Shri Krishna, repeat after me. Na karma,
na karma,
na karmana,
na karmana,
anaramba,
anarambha,
naishkarmyam,
naishkarmyam,
purusha,
ashnute,
anaramba, not doing that one, purusha, one attains the highest. He cannot. Just because avoidance, one cannot attain the highest. Nacha, sannyasana, deva, siddhim, samadhi-gacchati. And just because avoiding things and my responsibility, run away to the forest, one cannot he cannot be called as a jnana yogi. Repeat again. Na karmana manaramba, naishkarmyam purushošnute, nacha sannyasana deva, siddhim samadhi-gacchati. By both means one cannot excel. Avoidance, your responsibility, shrugging off your responsibility, or putting on the orange cloth, you cannot. This message again conveyed in the 6th chapter. We touched upon 6th chapter. Anashrita karma palam karyam karma karoti yaha sasanyasi cha yogi cha na niragni na chakriyaha. In the 6th chapter beginning, Lord had told anashrita, not resorting to the fruit, and anashrita karma palam karyam karma karotiha, not resorting to the fruit, doing the karma is called as karma yoga. Nacha sannyasana na niragni na chakriyaha. I am a sannyasi, I don't want to cook, I just put on an orange cloth. It is not a sannyasa. Shri Krishna conveys that message. And again, in the 18th chapter, again Shri Krishna drives this message. Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu. Sannyasa means, jnana yoga means staying away from the desired outcome. So, in a way, if you look at Bhagavad-Gita, what it is saying, the karma yoga itself is a jnana yoga. Jnana yoga itself is a karma yoga. Bhakti yoga itself is a karma yoga. Bhakti yoga itself is a jnana yoga. And Raja yoga itself is a karma yoga. Raja yoga itself is a bhakti yoga. Raja yoga itself is a jnana yoga. So, what Shri Krishna is saying, that never get confused. It's all are talking about the same from different dimensions where you are looking at. Not to say that I am a karma yogi, I am not interested in jnana yoga. No, I am a jnana yogi, I am not interested in bhakti yoga. I am a bhakti yogi, I am not interested in karma yoga. No, I am a raja yogi, I am not interested in bhakti. Not to say that one. It is opening up in a different shades. It's a same thing, it is getting it's a different shades. What Shri Krishna told in the second chapter, Arjuna thought. It's a two ways Shri Krishna had told. In the 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga, he is clarifying. What he told was not different. It's a touching upon the same concept from the different dimension. Different dimension he is talking about, and only Arjuna got confused, not the Lord. Lord, what he conveyed, the dimension how karma yoga opens up. The karma yoga, karma, the meaning of karma, kar means action and ma means knowledge. There is no karma without action, action without knowledge. You can't do a karma yoga without knowledge. Doing anything is not karma yoga. Just do. As I tell you, do, just do. It's not karma yoga. It is many shop floor people, they are told, just do this one. Like a machine, robot, like you do just not to think anything. And it is not karma yoga. It is my karma, I am doing that one. And karma yoga means whatever you are doing with knowledge is karma yoga. With knowledge, with passion, your involvement. And karma yoga nowadays it is in every corporate also is professed. It helps in continuous improvement. Continuous improvement, why it is happening? My job, I may be at the same job. But when I am doing that one, when I start applying my mind, there is an improvement in my action. It improves my action. There is a qualitative improvement is there. That is called as karma yoga. And only Arjuna got confused, not the Lord. Lord did not get, he did not convey two messages. Again, nahi kaschet
Nahi kaschit
kshanamapi jatu tishthatya karma-krit karyate hi avashak karma sarva prakriti-jair nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishthatyakarma-krit karyate hyavashak karma sarva prakriti-jair And Shri Krishna says, you wanted to run away. Nobody can remain even for a second without doing a karma. You wanted to run away. Your understanding, Shri Krishna is clarifying all of us what karma yoga means. Arjuna thought running away to the forest was karma yoga. Shri Krishna says, you can't remain even for a second without doing karma. Like in the 4th chapter, he talks about Pashyan Shrunvan Sprishan Jigran. Even if you are seeing something, hearing something, tasting something, smelling something, touching something, lying down, sleeping something, walking, handling, whatever you are doing, it's a karma. You think running away is karma yoga, and it's doing the closing the eyes is jnana-yoga. Everyone is impelled to do action forced by the prakriti. Prakriti according to the nature. Something propels me to do action. What propels me? And that in my garden I have so many birds have come to pick up. I threw some grains. They are eating the grains in my backyard. They are eating the grains. Somehow some winds started blowing. All birds took off. What propelled the birds to take off? We are doing something. We are here. Something like we have in our house, we have a dog. all of a sudden it stands out and starts barking. What propels? And we are doing some at home, all of a sudden we get excited and do something. Why we do? Everyone does something differently. What is pushing us? Without knowing, we do something. Without our action, without consciously being aware, we do things. We have never understood why we are doing that one. Prakriti-jair. Everyone is bound by the three cords of guna called as sattvika, guna, three ropes. In the 14th chapter, it talks about everyone is bound by the three cords. Three cords called as sattvika, rajasika and tamasika. Three ropes. Everyone is bound. Sometimes sattvic guna makes us think all of a sudden we are thinking good. Sometimes we are becoming very excited. Sometimes we are so lazy, we don't want to do anything. Why? What is the cause? The three ropes are tying everyone down. The sattvic rope is called as a golden rope. And the rajasic rope, it is called as the silver rope, and tamasic rope is called as iron rope. Everyone is bound. We may say, thank God, I am bound by the sattvic, but rope is a rope. And somebody, if they say, I want to hit you, should I hit you with a rod made up of gold, or should I hit you with a rod with the silver, or should I hit you with a rod with iron rod? Which one you like? I may feel proud. Oh, I was beaten by a golden rod. My ego may say, thank God I was beaten by a golden rod. But the other person may say, oh, I was beaten by a iron rod. But the pain is there. Pain is the same, but only the mentally I may say, thank God, I am beaten by the golden rod. And in our life also, many people they say, that person is very rich, no problem. But if you ask a rich person, they will say, this richness has brought in so much of mental tension, I can't sleep. If I did not have any of these ones, I could have slept well like a person on the street who doesn't have anything. For person on the street thinking that person in the having a mansion is very good, whereas the person in the mansion thinks it's a person on the street happily sleeping. And both are bound by the cord, only the perception, I think that is good, I think this is good. The purpose of this karma yoga, how to get rid of these three ropes. These ropes, whether it is the golden chain or iron chain, it is a chain. How to untangle yourself. You have to look at how to untangle yourself. Not to compare yourself. Somebody, some celebrity having a posh car and some mansion, some investment. I want to be like that. It says, Shri Krishna says, not to become somebody like, you become yourself. See how you can entangle so that you revel in your life. It's a rich person also sulks in the life, a poor person also is sulking in the life. How I can enjoy, how can I enjoy in my life? That is the purpose of Bhagavad-Gita. And not to amass the wealth, and if I get $1 million, I will be happy in my life. It is just chasing a mirage. It is not that something will give you happiness. Happiness you have to discover. Not you are not becoming like that. You become yourself, and then it is no rope can bind you. This chapter, Karma Yoga, Sri Krishna beautifully talks about, elaborates on the Karma Yoga and talks about your personality. Understand your personality. Do you know your personality? I myself do not know my personality, all my upbringing, all my parents' education, all the right from my childhood, my parents have been telling, you become like that. My university, in my course, they say, you become like that. If you complete this one, you will get that one. You will get that, you become something else. My employer says, you become something else. And it is saying, it is you becoming yourself. Is how to become. Nobody talks about that one. Have you discovered yourself? I haven't discovered myself. Without understanding myself, how can I become like somebody else? First, you become yourself. Understand yourself. When I understand myself, then I know about what others means. Without understanding myself, if I myself is drifting in the water, how can I, when I myself is not strong, how can I help others? How can I reach out to others to help? They are also drifting in their life. They are drifting in the current of the life. If I myself is drifting, how can I help? It says to reach out to others. You settle down. When you are settled down, then you are of value for others. If you are not settled down yourself, you yourself is sinking, yourself is drifting in your life, you are of no value for yourself and no value for others. Arjuna uvācha.
Arjuna uvācha.
Jyayasi chet karmanaste.
Jyayasi chet karmanaste.
Mata buddhir janardana.
Mata buddhir janardana.
Tatkim karmani ghore mam.
Tatkim karmani ghore mam.
Niyojayasi Keshava.
Niyojayasi Keshava.
Vyamishreneva vakyena.
Vyamishreneva vakyena.
Buddhim mohayasiva me.
Buddhim mohayasiva me.
Ekam vada nishchityam.
Ekam vada nishchitya.
Yena shreyo apnuyam.
Yena shreyo apnuyam.
Shri bhagavān uvācha.
Shri bhagavān uvācha.
Lokesmin dvi-vidhā nishtha.
Lokesmin dvi-vidhā nishtha.
Pura prokta maya nagha.
Pura prokta maya nagha.
Jnāna-yogena saṅkhyanam.
Jñāna-yogena saṅkhyanam.
Karma-yogena yoginam.
Karma-yogena yoginam.
Here in the first sloka, jyayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana. People say janardana. In English also they write Jarnadha. Or in Hindi also they put dhana. It is not janardana, it is janardana. It is not mahaprana, jana ardhana. Ardhana, in the Arjuna addresses Lord Krishna as janardana. Janardana means one who crushes down the people. The meaning of that one who crushes the wicked people, bad people, negative people, one who oppresses them is called as janardana. Janardana oppresses people, that is a janardana. Jana, here jana means negative people, bad people. Who troubles the negative people is called as janardana. Not to say janardana. Okay? And maya nagha, here maya nagha, anaga means agha. Agha means it's agam papam. It's so much of negativity. Anaga means it's so much in Bhagavad-Gita, in the Vishnu Sahasranam, it's a agam papam, so much of heaviness. Means no negativities, no papa, pure. Anaga means pure. Shri Krishna addresses Arjuna, he in fact addresses all of us. You are all pure people. You want to be on the side of the dharmic side. He addresses all of us, Anagha. You are pure. And jñāna-yogena sankyanam karma-yogena yoginam na karmana anaramba naishkarmyam purushošnute na cha sannyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishthatyakarma-krit karyate hyavashak karma sarva prakriti-jair gunaihi vasudeva sutam devam kamsa chanūramardhanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum